Shall we begin?
Hello YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, it's been my experience that usually right when you think you've got it all wired, right when it's all running pretty smooth, that's usually when you get a surprise. For those of you who keep African cichlids, or maybe this happens with all types of fish, but you know, you get it all dialed in, you know, just right, and all of a sudden you get a little curve, and this is where your fish keeping skill and patience gets tested. This tank that you see right here, this tank was set up because I'm getting a fish from James Largo over at the Cichlid Shack. If you're not familiar with James Largo, check him out. But great quality fish. I'm getting an F1 male Malawi hawk, and he's supposed to be in this little holding tank here for a few weeks, probably around 4 weeks, while I quarantine him, as I do with all new fish. So I set the tank up. Well, guess what? The Venusis decided that he wanted to give a whooping to the polystigma. I don't know why, but he decided to. And the way the polystigma hangs out in the corner of the tank, one part of his side is usually exposed, and as you can see on the polystigma, he took a few shots to that side and started to have an open wound. So I had no choice but to pull him out of the tank. And so now I need to come up with a plan B before I head out to the airport to pick up this box. And with this hawk in it, what I'm probably going to end up doing is putting a divider, like I've done before, in a 30-gallon where I'm growing out a couple long nose that I also got from the Cichlid Shack. So I'm probably going to have to divide that tank and put the hawk in there and QT her there, hopefully, and I'm very confident that the fish will arrive very, very healthy, because that's just what you get from James. But hopefully the fish is not going to have anything going on, which would in turn contaminate the long nose, the F1 long nose that I'm growing out, which would be a shame because I've become quite attached to those fish, and they're not quite big enough to put in the 60, especially with that fired up red cap and that fired up little Livingstoni in there that is constantly on fire. So I think they're too small for that tank still. So I'm gonna have to put a divider in there. So the moral of the story, be ready for just about anything, because it'll probably happen, and it'll probably happen right when things are seeming pretty smooth. And so comment below. You have any advice for me? Put it in the comments below. I love what I hear and read out from the Convo gang, good, bad, and indifferent. And in the community section of YouTube, I did do a little survey, and it looks like you folks do want me to go live. I am going to go ahead and do that. If you have a topic that you would like to see me discuss live, a particular theme that you would like for me to cover in a live talk where we can interact with each other, just go ahead and comment below, and it will be taken under consideration. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it, and stay tuned for some updates. That's it for me. Thank you so much.